putting on a private video. Oh my God. Oh, hello guys. Hello everyone. Can anyone see me or hear me? Can anyone see me or hear me? I've been trying to come on live. If you can see me or if you can hear me, just holler at me because this life is not lifing right now. I've been trying to come on live for the longest time. Oh my God. Why? Can anyone hear me or see me? Yes, I can see someone. Guys, you people should not be angry. Oh. One thing about me, I try to figure out things, no matter how difficult it is. I've been trying to figure out this life thing. 1 minute, please. I'm getting a call now of all times. Can anyone see me or hear me? Say hello if you can. Guys, hi, beauties Eden. How are you, sis? Longest time. I said I was going to call you. Please, the reason I've exhausted all my strength and all my time and everything. I wanted to come on live for the longest time. I tried to set up the camera. I tried to use the camera instead of just the webcam, but this thing is not easy. Tech is not for the faint-hearted. So that's the reason I came up the first time and like it's just been off and on. But anyway, how is everyone doing? I figured out people will want to come up and say something. If you want to come up and say something, you got the notification the first time, right? Yeah. So I don't know. Let me see. Okay, let me copy the link and just paste it in case someone has to like at this point right now. The At this point I'm exhausted. I've been trying to set up this thing since like 10 past 10 to 11 and ish I give up. Hope everyone is fine. I just decided for people to come in and share whatever concerns they have because the last life I had, people were like they missed it and they would have wanted to come and say something. So yeah, that's why we are here right now. So hello to everyone. So if you have anything to say, if you have any contribution, if you know there's something you want to say, the link is on the comment section. So that's it really. Nothing serious for today's life except people have anything to say. Because when you start up something and you're not getting it right, your spirit and everything is down. So that's where I am today. But anyways, hope everyone is doing fine. Yeah. What do you guys think the issues are concerning migrants in South Africa? Let's engage and say something. If not, this life will not. Yeah, what are the issues? Because one thing about people, when you make a video, they know how to come and start typing. It's time to come and say it now. What are the issues? If you know you have any personal thing, or you can type, or you can join the link and come up and say something with your camera on or without your camera on. So for me, I would say that one of the things I'll just say a few things I realized from the comment section. Some of the things that people keep saying is why migrants in South Africa. I wouldn't say only Nigerians because Nigerians are not the only migrants in South Africa. Yeah, as much as I'm a Nigerian, I won't just talk about only Nigerians in South Africa because every migrant is a migrant. No matter where you are. Okay, I can just be gracious and focus on African migrants in South Africa, but I can't just focus on Nigerians. So people make it look as if it's just Nigerians that are the migrants in South Africa. No, we have a lot of migrants Africans that reside in South Africa. They are Ghanaians, they are Zimbabweans, Kenyans, Lesotho, a lot. All the African countries are present here in South Africa. So yeah, so African migrants in South Africa, I would say the main issue that I pick up, eh, correct me if I'm wrong, that South Africans always have is the issue of being illegal, being illegal in the country. So I'll say some things that I'll say as well. Yes, that's one of their greatest. They feel as though if you're illegal, you can get away with things, which somehow that's true. Also, I will say that when it comes to being illegal, some people don't choose to be illegal. That's why I keep making some videos about, people should, migration should, let there be a hoot or a pause for African migrants to come to South Africa, because sometimes people become illegal out of, they don't choose to be illegal. Yeah. As when you're not an immigrant, you might not understand, but I'm an immigrant and I know, as from an immigrant point of view, coming to South Africa, getting your documentations is not so straightforward. That's why it's not a route that I will encourage anyone I know to, especially if you're a migrant, unless you have something critical, like special for you going on, like I always say in my videos. Because there are no routes to come to South Africa most times. It's only on very few occasions will you see somebody that say, oh, okay, I got a job. At least Africans, I got a job, then I came. Unlike other countries that you can apply to Australia, you can apply to Canada, you can apply to US. If you have the right qualification, you'll be given you'll be given the visa. That's why I keep telling people not to, especially African migrants. Maybe I don't know about other races, if or other continents, if they gain jobs and come to South Africa straight. But for Africans, it's not easy to gain employment then come. If you When it comes to migration or having been documented, if you gain employment and you enter the country as an employed person, it's easier for you to binge on that employment that you have, then start renewing your permits you get. So most Africans come via visitors visa, and they now start looking on ways to renew their permits. Some are able to renew their permits, others are not able to renew their permits. That's one reason I will tell you that African migrants in South Africa become illegal. So that's one concern I would say. People are not saying anything. People are just looking at me, but you should say something. I mean, nobody's going to bite you. Type something. Say what are the concerns. This is what I think. When I make a videos, people come and say all sorts and say and say. But when you're given the opportunity, say something. Say what the concerns are. For me, the main concerns for South Africans are that African migrants come in illegally. So because you can come in illegally, you have because you're illegal, you can get away with crap, which can be true sometimes, although not always the case. But yeah, it's a huge concern. And because you're illegal, a lot of things, happens because somebody's. So I'm trying to talk about the reasons I feel people become illegal, because there are no definite routes migrating to South Africa, except I don't even know. Even the doctors that came, I've not. I don't know. I don't know how. There are no. In fact, there are no definite route. Let me not even say I don't even know. There are no definite route like, oh, permanent resident route or work permit from your country. It could Work permit from your country can happen, but it's not. It's very few. So that's why I keep telling people, African migrants, South Africa, since these things are not there, it will be difficult for you to renew that permit and for you to become legal, which I know that that is the main problem that a lot of South Africans have: illegal immigration. Some South Africans, I wouldn't say all, and I wouldn't say most, but some South Africans don't entirely have problems with migration and migrant, because I know South Africans also migrate, as much as they don't migrate as like other nationals, African nationals, but they also migrate a little. So some people don't have really problem with migration, but problem is usually, if you have to come to South Africa, come, but let your coming be, let your stay be legal. Then other things, like doing the right thing in the country, don't commit crimes, and don't do drugs, don't do every other thing. Okay, because I know that yeah, that's Beauty says most of the African migrants are neighboring Southern African countries. They don't even need visas to come into the country. Yeah, that's one very serious one again. Because we that are like Nigerians, people like Nigerians, we need visa. Okay. So a lot of times you have to be issued that visa before you come. But the other African nationals that do not need visa, it's even easier for them to come into the country and for them to stay. So I think that's a big one too. But what are we going to do? Because I think in the what's it called? Like, just like Western African region, Southern African in regions, there are regions all over the world that if you belong to that region, you really do not need a visa to cross the border. So those things are there. So that's one thing. So South Africans, if you if you can hear me, what are the main concerns are, apart from the illegal migration and illegal stay, or what are other concerns? Nigerians come with visiting visa and then try to find ways to legitimate their stay in the country, in the yeah, and with home affairs. Exactly, that's true. At least before I came to South Africa, I was invited by my husband. Which most people that are married, they were invited by their husbands or some sort. You get a visa, then you can now proceed to study. You get a study permit, and so on and so forth. Then you get a work permit if you can. So that's for us. That's the route I know. So for me, it's difficult for somebody like me now, or most Nigerians, to just come to South Africa without having an initial permit, then maybe binging on your that initial permit, getting different permits. Okay, me, as you've seen me here, I've had a lot of permits. I've had visitors permits. Then after a visitors permit, I've had a company spouse, because after visiting, you can now start accompanying your spouse. After accompanying spouse, I've had study permit for all the years I studied. Then after study permit, I've had work permits. You understand? So that's for us, our route, like Beauty Eden said. You for people like Nigerians, at least well-meaning Nigerians that can get permits. That's how we normally get our permits. We've come from either visitors, yes. When you visit, then you can accompany your husband or your spouse or your girlfriend, whichever way. Then from there you can get a study permit or a work permit. That's it. So let me see what she's saying. I'll suggest they issue permits to as many as they can. That way everyone can be accounted for. Yeah, it's true. That should be the right thing ideally, but I feel that it becomes more complicated, Beauty, because when you come to, excuse me, when you come to a country, like the neighboring countries, I know they stamp for them. Okay, they stamp something by the borders, they stamp, and when they stamp by the borders, you're expected to go leave the country after a certain period. Then if you don't leave this country after a certain period, it becomes like you have overstayed, right? There's a penalty for you. So I know I've worked with Zimbabweans as workers in the house and everything. So I know how it is. They're now in a kind of a crossroad. Oh, I've overstayed. There's a penalty. They can't just, after overstaying, you can't You can't just go and now apply for a permit, especially for those that come. Even me, let me tell you one thing. Hi, Blessing, how are you? One thing that happened to me when I was in UKZN, it wasn't my making. My permit was about to expire. Then I was looking for a date to renew my permit. Then at the time, that was my study permit. I was still in school then. I think I finished my honors, about to start my masters. Then my permit expired. I couldn't renew my permit, and the school was about to kick me out. A lot of things. So so you can't, when your permit expires, you can't just go and renew your permit. You get what they call letter of good cause. And before you get letter of good cause, you have to come before a presiding immigration officer and sit and tell him why you will need to be renewed. It's like pleading kind of letter of good cause. Then, hey, the man interrogated me like it was like more than 1 hour sections. He was saying, my husband, so why were you there and your wife's permit was expired? My husband was like, I'm in Northwest, and he now said, okay, they'll find out the reasons why you overstayed and everything. I think that no letter of good cause, there's no financial penalty but it's just that you have to get that letter of good cause before you can now use the letter of good cause to renew your permit. So what you're saying would have made sense, Beauty, if it was that easy. Eh, no, for now, then they used to give letter of good cause. Things have changed in home affairs. That's the truth. A lot of things have changed in home affairs, and yeah, I will say that after COVID, a lot of things changed. Let me read more comments. Blessing, I say hello to you. As there are many undocumented foreigners, that one way to track individuals. Yeah, that's true, because I know that if people are documented, it's easy for them to be tracked, and you also know that, okay, fine, my name is in the system somehow. Blessing said, I'm one of that. Okay, I'm the one that asks you for guide on how to get admission for my postgraduate studies. Okay, it depends on the university you want to attend to, Blessing. So I don't know where you are. Are you in Nigeria or you're here in South Africa? So that will depend, because if you're in Nigeria, you have to apply to the university. After applying to the university, when you get your admission, with by then you must have paid. That's if you're outside the country, you must have paid. Then you get your visa. They will give you, just like when you want to go to the UK or US. Okay, you're in Joburg. It depends on the university you want to attend to. If you want to go to University of Johannesburg, it's good. Go to their what's it called, department now. Just walk in. I mean, this kind of things. If you're in Joburg and you want to go to UJ, walk into the department, depending on the course you want to study, all the inquiries you can get. That's the thing. Alternatively, if you don't want to go to the school, because if you go to the school, it will even give you more insight. You will see people answering your questions in real time and real life. If you don't want to go to the university, go to their website. The universities in South Africa, all these things are very clear. Go to postgraduate studies or master's degree or honors. Most likely you will start from honors if you're coming, to go to honors and look for their application form. Apply. It's easy. No, it's not difficult. 3 months if you want. Are you serious? Yeah, I think that letter of good cause, it took 1 month then. But you see, after COVID, I must tell you that a lot of things changed. Backlog, they had a lot of backlogs in home affairs. They have a lot of backlogs in VFS as well. After COVID, after my by then I had my study visa before my permit expired. I had my study visa before my study finished anyway, not my permit expired. Of course, if my study finishes, my permit will expire. Then I now applied before my permit expired. I now applied for another permit. My sister, it took 2 years for that permit to come out. Before I was pregnant, I applied for that permit, and the permit came out after I had given birth to my daughter. So 2 years. Yeah. I know women who applied for back 7 years, yet no permit. Of course, now that one is a normal thing. Honestly, women are accompanied spouse apply. Women on accompanied spouse applying to get PR, they don't give. They this is that's why I keep telling people, about the system, because when I come and I say something, people are like, but that's the fact. The permit system is very slow. That's one thing I can say for free. So if the government can do something about it, if Home Affairs can, do something about it, if VFS can do something about it, that would be fine, because permits take forever. So, as permits keep expiring, it keeps expiring and expiring. People keep becoming, illegal in the country. Yeah, because you won't want to go, especially if you still have to be here. You won't want to go, and a lot of people's permits will be expiring, making a lot of people illegal immigrants. At least those that have permits, but those that come by from the neighboring countries, that one is a different situation altogether. Blessing, did you understand what I said? So just go to UJ. UJ is a good school. Since you're in Johannesburg, I don't think you should go far. I went far from Northwest to UKZN. That move was not easy on me, on my family, on my children. So if you want to apply, just stick within Joburg and Vets and UJ. Just apply there, depending on your course. Which course do you intend to study? This sort of permit should ordinarily be issued as long as you qualify. Here, of course, one thing I keep telling people, beauty. South Africa is an African country, so most times the systems are overwhelmed as well. Whatever problem you see we have in Nigeria, they have it here. It's just that their own might not be that, it might not be much as whatever. African countries have a lot of things in common. Bad governance. South Africa is better, I would say, but of course they still have things they struggle with as a country. So things are not as smooth sailing as people would want it to be ordinarily. So that's why I keep telling people, I will say as much as I can say. If you're a new migrant or an intending migrant, yeah, South Africa shouldn't be a place to consider, because of the things. It's a beautiful country. Even if I leave South Africa today, I will always come and visit, because there are a lot of places to explore. It's a beautiful country. It has a system that works, but does it work as much as it works in the West yet? Not necessarily, not really. So that's one thing. So as much as we want things to be going in smoothly in Home Affairs and in VFS, it's not. Since COVID, things slowed down very well in the whole world anyways, but in South Africa it slowed. So guys, do you have any more concerns? What are the other concerns you think are the main concerns, apart from the known ones that are illegal things that people do? As much as, what are other main issues that, and what do you think, how could you guys think they can be resolved? I have my link on the comment section. Let me post it again in case somebody wants to come in and say something. Yeah, want to come in and say something. Yeah, the link is on the comment section. That's why I actually use StreamYard though, because of you guys. You can show your face in the camera, or you can choose not to. I want to study nurse educator. Okay, I don't know anything about nursing, but people I asked said I should. Yeah, you already know where to start from now. SAQA is the first thing. SAQA, you must verify your certificate with SAQA. And I'm done with that. Okay, with them, but don't know the next step. Go to the university. Blessing, you're a Niger girl now, and you can't be asking these kind of questions. You don't know which step. Go to the university, take a trip to UJ, go to their nursing department. By the time you bring out 2 days, you get all the questions you want. Me, as I am, I don't like ladies, as if, let it not be that the way people think that women are just dulling. No, women are smart. You can get anything you want to achieve. Just go. Me, myself, I went to UKZN all by myself and came back all by myself after 4 years. And I had babies, tiny, 9 months old baby and a year. And so you can do it. It's just that now I'm beginning to slow down because I'm tired. But you can do anything. Don't stay and be asking around. Go to the website, like I was telling you, I was trying to figure out this thing. That's why I didn't come up live. Anything you want to achieve, you can achieve. It's just that sometimes life may slow you down, but let it be that you've set up to get that thing. I was trying to set up this thing for like 3 hours because I was trying to use my camera here. It's a new camera I got. but it didn't agree me, but allow me. But I said I must come up live. That's the spirit, you know. Resilience is the spirit. That's what most times Nigerians are known for resilience. Although their resilience can come out as being arrogant or being too fussy out. But me, for myself, I choose to take the positive form of resilience, like in the form of whatever I want to achieve, whatever I set my mind to achieve, whatever goal, you can do it. Do you understand? That's how I see life. As much as things are, it's just like this YouTube. If you're not resilient, you can't be on YouTube. YouTube is tough. YouTube is hard. Nothing is easy in this life. Education, even when you go to UKZ University in South Africa, there are days you'll be crying. Like sometimes I used to cry. After crying, I'll clean my eyes out. I'll still go on, because nothing comes to you on a platter in this world. So if you want to study in South Africa, you have to be resilient, be strong. South Africa is not, their education system is different from Nigerian education system. It's tough. If you is honors, you'll be having presentations almost every day, and you'll be having lectures from morning till 5 o'clock, from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the evening. And after that, you're expected to prepare for your presentation for the next day. So you're literally not sleeping. I don't know. That was how it was. If you studied honors in South Africa, tell me. When I did my own 2016. So it's not something you want to say, I don't know. Try, say no, I want to do this, I will do it. That if that's the path you've chosen. And another what's it called? Another advice I want to give you is make sure that whatever course you're studying is something that is relevant, because not all courses are relevant. As much as you want to just go and get a master's, you know, if I know what I know now, I may not have even gotten my master's in HR. I may have gotten something else. But at the time, that was the choice I had. Beauty. Coping. I was like, I didn't cope. I was just on autopilot, coping with kids and doing that their honors. Do you know, I used to leave my daughters in the house and go back to the land till 2. They knew me in UKZN till 2 a.m. in the midnight or 3. I'll carry my bag. Thank God I had a car, of course. So I'll enter the car and start coming back, because I had to study in the land. My little girls were really babies then. It was not easy, honestly. With that schedule, it was not easy. But I said, at a point, my friend was like, this honors is too tough. Oh. Come and start going back to where your husband is. I don't think you will cope. I said, I will cope. Anything I start, I'll finish it. That's the thing. So when people look like, that's why sometimes I don't talk about South Africa on a bad light. I only basp on the positivity that I have here, because that honors, as much as it was tough, it was something that was worth it for me. As much as I've not really gained employment with that honors and masters, I won't lie, like gain employment based on that certificate. I may be doing other things by the side, but based on that certificate, I'm still not angry. I'm still not angry at that, because some people want, you know, think that you all only come and talk about I'm not here to talk about negativities. I'm here to talk about positive, at least that I choose to, because it makes me feel better. Because if I want to start saying, oh, I'm supposed to be here, I'm supposed to be here, I'm supposed to be doing this, I'm supposed to be earning so and so money, my day I won't function. Yes, I had a nanny, but you know how nannies are. Nannies are unreliable. You might want to go for lecture. So what I did then was, in case anybody wants to study here and you have children, just put your children in crèche, so that nannies will just be taking care of them and to helping you with the house chores. Because sometimes you may wake up in the morning, the nanny has packed her bag and say, "Ma'am, I'm going today," or you will not, in the morning, you won't even see her. Crazy things like that story. That part of the story is crazy. So I just put my babies in crèche. In the morning, I'll bath them, take them to crèche. In the evening, I'll bring them back. But in the night, I had to leave them with the nannies. But if the nannies were not around, I would just study in the house. I had these decks I'm using was the decks I used in UKZN, plus this thing. So I had my books and stats one corner of my room. That was what I was doing. No, I wasn't living in the rest. I can't live in the rest. I can't live in the school rest. It's called rest with babies. I had an off-campus this thing, but I was living around that Scoresville and Pelham in Petermarisburg. But it was. I loved UKZN. I would not trade that experience for anything. It was a eye-opening one. It was everything. Yeah, you should do it. But my own is, if you want to do something that on how you japa out of South Africa. That's if you have that plans to leave one day, it will still be useful. Or while you're still here, you may gain employment with it. It's not easy, but that's it. Yeah. So guys, those are the concerns. What other concerns do you guys think we have? What concerns do That's mainly I feel that concern about not being legal is what transcends to other concerns that the people of South Africa have. So I don't blame them if they have it, but the thing is, if the government can help and, like you said, beauty, make sure that permits are being rolled out. At least if you apply, you know that it will come out. Then it will make sense, because if you don't have permits and you're illegal, as much as you're illegal that you've applied, but you're still illegal, kind of. You can't even step out of the country. Then I was just praying when I didn't have permit. I was saying, hey God, let nothing warrant me to be able to want to go out of the country, because if you don't have permit, of course you can't go. You can go, yeah, you can go, but you won't come back, and that's it. So if the country, the South African authorities, the VFS or Home Affairs can help issue out this PR is not I'm talking about. If I tell you how many years I applied for PR with beauty, my PR was before, when I was in KZN, UKZN. That was like 7 years now, or 6 years. I'm not even thinking about it again. I think I don't even want it, honestly. Honestly, but yeah, I'm not thinking about it again. But those things don't come out. Those PR things, they don't come out. I'm just talking about regular permits, work permit that people need, study permit that people need. I think study permit, one good thing about study permit is, if you show the proof that you've applied for your study permit, that you've applied though, that is on waiting, no, you can continue with your studies. That's one thing about study permit. If you have a proof that, okay, I've applied for my study permit, you can continue with your studies depending on whenever it is. Because when you need your study permit is by the school year, like registration time, when you want to register. But if you show them your medical aid, because as a student you get a medical aid, if you show them your medical aid and that you've applied for your study permits, you can continue. But with work, some organizations some organizations will not let you unless your work permit is you have it on your hand. And yeah, accompany spouse. If you're accompanying your spouse, you can be, I don't think the police will arrest you if you have applied and you're waiting for it. Yeah, that's one thing. They will not arrest you if you have permits that you've applied for and you're waiting for it. But the point is that you can't leave the country, you can't travel, you can't holiday, you can't do anything like out of the country. So that's it. So anyways, I pray that the things become easier, because I also had reasons to call them in UKZ, and I noticed that after COVID, things were not as fast as, maybe because people now work from home. I guess that could be one of the reasons. A lot of people work from home, though COVID has gone now or has finished. So a lot of people work from home, and it slowed down the workforce in the whole world. So that could be the reason why permits slow down. But I don't know. Me, I don't need permits for the next time. And I'm okay. I'm the only person, and my baby. I've not even applied for that one. I need to apply for her. Anyway, so that's the thing. For us, a lot of I'll also just touch on the concerns of migrants. So I've talked on the concerns of South African. Let me talk one of the concerns of migrants. This issue I just raised now, like a child that is born in South Africa. For me, I would have been happier, or I would have suggested, if it's possible, if not for the fact that I'm not asking South Africans to give every child that is born here citizenship, just like it's done in the West, no. But at least in the hospital, when they bring the form for you or your road to health chart, it would have been easier for them to just issue that child, so long as that child is born here. Issue that child an accompanied parent, a permit. It would have been easy. At least the child doesn't have citizenship. Oh, yes, it's fine. Let the child not have. Yeah, I'm not asking the country to give every child born here citizenship or anything. But let it be easier for every child, so long as you're born in the soil of South Africa. It would be nice if they just issue them an automatic permit. It's easier that way. Yeah, that way you know that it's easier. Like me now, my daughter, I thinking of how to get her this one, yo, it's hectic. She already has a Nigerian passport because she's a Nigerian citizen. She's not a South African citizen. Okay, they are not South African citizens. But the rigor in going to get her a permit, a child that was pregnant, I was pregnant for here in South Africa, and I gave birth to here in South Africa. If it's easy to just get her a permit, like automatic permit, it would have been easy. But anyways, who am I to tell the government how to do their thing? Maybe the reason why they don't do that is the child needs a passport before the permit. But there could be an easier way that maybe you have something is an automatic. Immediately they see that, oh, this child was born here. They have it can be fast tracked for every child at least to be legal. Because the one I don't understand, the one that I feel somehow about is that a child that, as much as your parents are foreigners, migrants, but you're kind of deep rooted in the country. For some reason, it's just natural. Your a part of you feels like a part of that. I feel for kids anyway. It's not my fault. I don't feel like that, but I know that kids feel like that, especially when they grow up to a certain extent here. So it should be, a, a consensus should be given to, if I'm asked to suggest, in just a suggestion, to kids that are born here. At least, if are you born here? You're born here. Okay, okay. Permit for you is easier. Permit for you. There should be a permit for kids that are born here, like a special one for them, just a permit, not for you to be a citizen of here, but for the fact that you're born here. Okay, you have affiliation here. But anyway, that's my concern, if I'm asked to say. But without it being done, am I still faulting the government? No, I'm not faulting the government. Okay, I'm not faulting South African government. They are gracious enough to have foreigners here, and I don't take it for granted. And I'm sure a lot of foreigners don't appreciate, as much as people say a lot of things. It's just not talked about. COVID, yes, no, COVID, yeah, COVID will always be with us, because COVID is a kind of flu. It will always be around. But yeah, I think a lot of people have built immunity. Even kids that are born after COVID have built immunity, because their parents that gave birth to them, have had that immunity. So it might be happening every now and then, but it's not like it's not so strong again to to unlife people the way it did. Oh my God, 2020 and 2021 was something else. Yeah, guys, that's basically the essence of this video. People don't want to talk about the concerns. I mean, that's my own concern. That's what I think it is, amongst every other thing. But generally, I will just keep using every avenue to tell migrants, as much as you're in South Africa, try and do the right thing. It's not easy. It's easy. Yeah, it's easy. Try and do the right thing. Then, if the right thing is difficult for you to do, look for an exit route. Like, I know that most um African, at least Nigerians that I know, they want to, if they have their way, they will probably go to somewhere else. Yeah, kids accompany their parents. If the parents are illegal, the kids automatically become illegal. That's the truth. But that's what I'm saying. If it can be done in a way that even if the parents are illegal, the kids will have just a permit, not a citizenship or PR, just a permit, just like the way it's done in the US. If just for them to be able to access normal education, and some schools, like my kids' school, they will ask kids for permit. Kids need study permits. Do you know? In my kids' school, you need study permit to go to that school. As much as I don't know if they will chase you like that, because my kids have permits, but they need permit. So if it's for that singular reason of okay, for you to just have, be able to study, and yeah, it would make sense. Like in the US, even if you're South Africans, please, you should not say I'm comparing South Africa to the US. I'm not. I'm just using it as an instance. In US, even if you are illegal immigrant and you have a child, that child will be a citizen. But I'm not saying a citizenship is too much to ask for South Africans, because they are not that equipped to keep collecting citizens from everywhere. It will overwhelm the country. I understand why they streamline or they make it difficult, or they kind of do those things, those measures, because having citizens from everywhere, or all child becoming citizens, that they will now have to access everything South Africans access, everything, the grant system, which is not even enough for people that have, it's theirs, is not enough for them. So I'm not asking, just for them to have a freer and easier access to at least education. That's my own. But anyway, it's just something, it's a wishful thinking. Hey, my mom, when we were younger, she used to say something. She would say, if wishes were horses, even beggars will ride. If everything we wish like this in this world comes to us, some of us will be flying on eagle's wings. Like, so it's just a wishful thinking. It's not bad to wish, but it's also not, you can't also fault the country if they don't have the capacity to do that, or if they don't want to do that. I mean, that's it. But generally, like I was saying, if you're a migrant, be well behaved. It saves you a lot. Hi Uche. Hi sis, how are you? I said let me come live today. Oh, how is everyone doing? So as a migrant, be well behaved, but I'll keep telling every migrant that chooses to listen, or intending migrants, because of the issues that are being raised, choose well, choose wisely before you japa. Somebody, I wanted to react to some comments, on some of the videos, but I feel as though sometimes it's not necessary, because some people speak from a place of ignorance. Yeah, I choose to say it's a place of ignorance. So that's why I will just keep on doing my thing. If I have informations about South Africa and Nigeria, I'll keep on saying it till I can no longer do. Yeah, for now. Does anyone have anything to say? Any contribution? Because, or any suggestion, or anything? Because yeah. So that's all I have to offer today. That's my link on the comment section. In the absence of any other contribution, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you, and I will see you in my next one. Give this video a thumbs up. If you have not given this video a thumbs up, please give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next one. Ciao. Bye.